Conservation Halton is receiving over $600,000 from the federal government to plant over 120,000 trees in the Halton region watershed. And I'm equally excited that Trees for Halton Hills will be receiving $150,000 to plant over 2,000 trees, and most of those are quite mature trees, which is worth saying, because the more the mature tree that you plant, the more expensive they are.
The saplings being planted on this day are still fairly immature, and therefore more affordable. But those mature trees can cost hundreds of dollars each, according to the mayor of Halton Hills, who also founded Trees for Halton Hills. This funding will allow them to plant 2,000 more and bring the nonprofit organization closer to its goal.
That we would, in Halton Hills, plant one tree for every resident. So we had a 65,000 tree challenge. And so the idea is that every resident will in some way or another have their name on a tree.
So far, 6,000 trees have been planted. Meanwhile, the city of Burlington is equally dedicated to tree planting with its own program.
We give away 500 trees about 3 or 4 times a year, and they go like hotcakes. We do encourage residents to come and get a tree and plant it. So we're doing everything that we can at the city to plant more trees on city property, as well as give trees to our residents to plant on private property.
Conservation Halton is the other benefactor of this announcement. The saplings going into the ground today will bring its total number of plantings to roughly 112,000 this year. An additional 120,000 tree plantings will be possible thanks to the federal government funding. Those will be spread over a 1,000 square kilometer watershed area for which Conservation Halton is responsible. However, the organization plays another key role: forest management.
So we have quite a large forestry team that does a lot of active forest management, looking at invasive species, looking at the canopy, opening things up where they need to, removing hazard trees. So we have an overall forest management, forest health initiative, and tree planting is one aspect of that.
One of the challenges to forest management is invasive species.
Climate change is changing things a little bit. And so it's something we're aware of, that the trees that are traditionally very healthy in this area, some of them aren't doing so well.
For the past 7 years, we've been taking down a lot of trees that have been impacted by the emerald ash borer. That's costly. It costs more actually today to take those trees down that are dead or dying than it actually does to plant new trees. So the more we can be proactive on managing and monitoring forest health, to look at if there's an invasive species that comes in, is there a disease that comes in, and you can monitor it because you've got a good program and maybe try and control it, contain it early, you can save yourself a lot of trouble before it spreads.
Bassett added that more recently, Conservation Halton staff have been monitoring a new threat, oak wilt, which impacts oak trees. This in addition to other diseases already impacting our local forests. Jason Trout for Halton News in Burlington.